Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thank you for joining us for the official launch of this week's Weekly Wonder, and it is something you guys have absolutely loved. It's not brand new, but it's something which I think you guys are so happy about that is back. It is the Nature's Garden Vintage Rose Collection. It is an absolute stunner of a set. And as we were talking about in Wake Up Call this morning, a set which I just think is going to be so super usable, super versatile for all sorts of occasions, for all sorts of people, for all sorts of events right throughout the year. Various purchasing options available for you, which I'll take you through in just a few moments' time. But it is, of course, this week that we are bringing you our Club Inspire event. So if you are within Club Inspire, first of all, thank you. Secondly, well, we've got some little treats up our sleeve for you. One of those being the opportunity for you to be able to win free shipping for a year. That is crazy. Producer George just gone, that's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy, isn't it, mate? That's crazy. That is, mate. It's crazy. So if you want to win free shipping for a year, you need to shop for the shipping. Basically, every time you spend £25, dollars or euros, that is one entry into the draw that we are going to do at close of play, which will be the end of Sunday. And then someone drawn at random from all of those entries will win free shipping for a year. Unbelievable. We've also got the official Club Inspire day tomorrow. A big event coming tomorrow for you. Sarah is going to be in, so there'll be lots more to talk about there. But before I say hello to a few of you lovely viewers who are already in, let's say hello to the man who's going to be inspiring you over the course of this show. There could really only be one man on this show because he loves this collection so much, and I'm looking forward to it because whilst he will have ideas of what he wants to do, he is very much open to your questions, your requests. He is the one and only Hottie Scotty, Mr. Craig Laird.
Plus, I'm the only male on the TV team when it comes to demonstration. You're on the presenting side.
Oh yeah, you are actually.
So it's going to be
very true.
The only male. The only
That's
male.
very true.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes, really, really excited to be part, of course, of the relaunch of the Vintage Rose because, yeah, I bang on about it quite a lot. Certainly when it comes to, of course, the stamp that you get included as well. Let's have a look at some samples first, and then what we can do is we can look at the boards before Ben goes over all the details. Or I don't know, Ben, do you want to do the details? Then I'll do the boards afterwards.
Tell you what, you do the cards, I'll do the details, you do the boards, I'll do some comments, then you do a demo.
Boom, there we go. Teamwork. Yeah.
Makes the dream work.
It does indeed. But look at all of these that you can be making with, of course, the collection that you're getting. What about bringing things such as your template library in there?
Oh, that's a nice idea.
What about bringing in the layout collection? There's my favourite stamp because, of course, it's also an edgeable. It could be the left edge, it could be the right edge because you've got the two dies to go with it. How beautiful is that
Beautiful?
one? Absolutely gorgeous. It is an absolute beauty, that one. So going in and creating your larger 6x8 easel cards if you want to, but you could vintify it. Vintage, oh, I meant to say that word earlier on as
Vintageify,
well.
you said.
Vintageify it if you want to.
Yeah.
But then changing the colours, you can go with the blue tones if you want to. Use, of course, that beautiful detailed die, that big frame die, in with the easel. You could, of course, use that framework if you want to. Here, going in with those pastel colours in that edgeable die. Here's another one using, of course, my favourite stamp, but also using it as an edgeable. Really, really smart. Popping that over the top of your lace backdrop that's in that collection too. Really nice, elegant, going in with some of your vellums. So if you've got lots of vellums and you're always struggling with how to use them, what about using them in that way? Nice way to use them. Here's another one with, of course, the actual stamp on the actual edge, so actually treating it as an actual edgeable. Edgeable when it comes to, of course, angle to angle on that one, and then your flower forming. We're going to start with a demonstration by creating one of the roses, and then you can start to team them all together here. So all of the main components are within this bundle, Ben. It's all about the vintage rose. It's Craig's favourite nature garden, one of two. I do like the peony, which was the original one. So yeah, really great couple of hours that we've got coming up.
Hello to Jan, who's on the show for us. Joyce Jan is our social media superstar. We've got the lovely Love to Create LC, says hello to Ben and team and Craig. Hello to Hilary, says hi everyone from Hilary and Holly Collie. Hello Hilary. Hello Holly Collie. I spent probably 20 minutes, half an hour with Holly Collie. I think out of everyone who came to the pop-up shop, I spent the most time with Holly.
You were like Dr. Dolittle, weren't you, for dogs?
Yeah.
You can walk with the animals.
Talk with the animals.
Was there any whoopsies?
Whoopsies?
Yeah.
Oh, there were no whoopsies,
Oh, was there not any
no.
whoopsies?
What was really cute, though, because I saw Hillary in the queue, she was sort of waving. Obviously, I didn't know.
The dog was waving?
No, Hillary.
Oh, Hillary,
Hillary,
sorry.
the dog was waving. So I went over and she was like, oh, I'm Hillary. I was like, oh, yeah, Hillary, Holly Collie. And I was like, where's Holly Collie? She's like, oh, she was in the queue, but she got too excited, so I had to put her in the car. So she gave me her car keys. I mean, that was a dangerous thing to do, first of all. Can you imagine?
Fast and Furious with the dog in the back of the car. Yeah, glasses on. You see me rolling.
And Holly sat next to me like that, shades on.
Yeah.
No, she gave me her car keys. She went, oh, you can go and bring her in if you want. And I was like, oh, will she be all right? Like, you know, a complete stranger. She's like, yeah, she'll be fine. So I went outside, found the car, and then looked in, and Collie was just sort of sat in the back seat and sort of looked. And I was like, hello. I actually said, hello, I'm Uncle Ben. And she sort of looked like that. And I said, do you want to come in and see your mum? And she got very excited, and I put her on her little lead and walked her in. I was with her for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and she loved it.
That's brilliant.
This is so cute.
So cute.
It was great to meet everybody else as well, obviously, you know. Pat says hello to Ben and Craig. Hi to Stephen. Stephen Nicole. Trudy Bickham's with us. Jen Shank joins us. Also, hello to Alcha, who says hello everyone to Ben and Craig. Jane Quigley is in, Little Bear. Karen Wells Sorrells in Kentucky. Mary Beth Doyle in Minnesota. Louise Burton says hello everyone. And Alcha says, well people, if you want to see Ben, just bark. That's it. That is it. I am a sucker for a furry friend. Right, let's get up on the screen details of the Vintage Rose. All right, weekly wonder. Now what you'll notice here, this little price, $113.89 or $139.89, disregard that, because if you are a platinum member, and indeed if you're joining Club Inspire for the first time today, you'll pay 40 quid. 40 quid, 40 pounds, 48 bucks. Obviously tariffs apply here, unfortunately, but the good news is everything is available individually. Everything is available in 3 smaller bundles. But what you do, you see, is if you haven't got this set, you get this bundle here, because we are going to give you the 3 bundles for the price that you are seeing on screen. So if you wanted to just get the stamp and dies on their own, then obviously you can do that. Another bundle on its own is the linen cardstock and the 6x6 pad, which Craig will take you through in just a few moments time. And then you've also got in another bundle the flower forming foam and also that beautiful classic rose die. Now we bundle all those 3 together, and by getting it in one click you're actually saving £26 or $35, which is incredible. In essence, it's like we're giving you the luxury linen card, the 6x6 papers, and then this beautiful vintage treasures stamp set which Craig used on Wake Up Call for free. So that's for free, that's for free, and that's for free when you buy it in one click. As I've said, there are options available for you. If you just want to buy smaller bundles, you can. Maybe you already bought this collection initially and you just want to stock up on the cardstock, the foam, the papers. Shop the day for all of that. And of course, remember, if you spend over £25, that is an entry into the draw to win free shipping for a year. I'll say a few more hellos in a second, but let's go over to Craig, who's going to take us through the board so we can see everything in more detail.
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll show you everything, but what I'll also do is I'll break it down. So I'll let you know what is in each individual bundle. So we're going to break it down, as D-Generation X would do.
Yeah.
The first, but if you wanted to go for the first bundle, it's on the website. It is your linen cardstock, and then it is your 6x6 paper pad. What I do just need to let you know, it's not actually A4 that you're getting, it's letter size. So it's just a little bit slimmer than A4, but it's a little bit wider than A4, a little bit smaller than A4. Essentially, it kind of works out the same size. But it is your letter size, same colour, same collection, vintage rose that you're getting. But let's look at these colours here, because you're getting your 6 colours. You know it's my favourite. 4 of each. So you've got your reds in there, you've got your peaches in there, you've got your pinks in there, yellows are in there, you've got your mints in there, greens are in there. So all the beautiful colours that you would use. Because when it comes to roses, you can have a red rose, you can have a pink rose, you can have a peach rose, you can have a yellow rose.
You can.
So all of those key colours are in there. And then you've got your 36 sheets of your double-sided paper pad in here. So all revolving around the theme, of course, of the vintage rose. So you've got that mix of muted, but then you've got the detail, you've got that faux emboss, that faux texture, uncoated, so you can ink, spritz, distress, tear if you want to. But you've got one side which is full on floral of rose, and then the opposite side. I mean, that one there, look at that side. Just kind of like the script work. It's like your postage sort of effect within that one there. So remember, everything I'm showing you is what's in the big bundle. However, that is, if you wanted to go for smaller bundles, that's one option that you've got. What I would definitely urge you to consider is if you're going to go for the big bundle, potentially pop that in as well to give you more consumables, giving you your linen and then also your 6x6. Then also within the big bundle, this is also a second option, bundle-wise, is the flower forming foam, but also the floral rose dyes as well. So it's flower forming foam. Ours is heat-based foam, so you're going to use a heat implement to then shape it. We're going to do one first within the first demonstration, but you've got 5 of the Bordeaux colours, so I'll turn it that way because that's more close to the colours there. Bordeaux, pink, and then you've also got the green as well. So you have got 5, 5, and then 2. Because you're not going to be using as much of the green. What I like to do, touched upon it within the preview, we'll do it as well here. I like to create my roses within the colours of either the red or the pink. But when it comes to the leaf dye, I actually like to cut that into cardstock. So you've got that tactile of the heat foam plus your cardstock.
Like that.
So we've got that both. But you can use the leaf dye within the foam if you want to. And then these are the dyes. So that one being the classic rose. So although we say these are your flower forming dyes, they are going to cut your flower forming with absolute ease. However, these are our standard silver wafer thin paper craft dyes as well. So you can still use this with your pattern paper, your cardstock, all of that. And likewise, any of your flower dyes that you've got for your card and paper, you can use and then create them with the flower forming foam. Gives you that texture. They're really robust. Once you've heated them, shaped them, let them set for a moment or two, really robust. So you don't need to worry about putting them in box envelopes or home decor, of course. And it's up to you. You can dictate how many layers you want to use at a time. Maybe like earlier on, I done 2, 2, and 2. You might want to go 1, 2, 2. You might want to go 1, 3, 2. You might just want to do all your roses from small, all from medium, all from large. Entirely up to yourself. Then, of course, you've got the Diddy ones as well. So that is another bundle option on the website, but still consists of the full bundle. And then, last but by no means least, the biggest bundle out of the 3, so to speak, are all of your non-consumables here. So you are going to be getting your 3D embossing folder, 5x7. The depth is exceptional. We did do this.
This was brilliant earlier on.
So that was in Wake Up Call.
Go back and watch it.
So in the preview, Ben, we done, where is my rose that we done? Here we go. So in the preview at 10 a.m. UK time, we done that. Within Wake Up Call, we done that. We did also do a little bit of letter pressing as well, just to show you the different effects. So that is the folder, 3D folder that you've got there, being of course the timeless rose. Then you're going to be getting the Baroque frame. So that one there, also 5x7, but it's 2D. So you've got that nice even level of
What's
depth.
that one?
It's Baroque frame. And not Brock Lesnar. So that's second folder. Then we're going to be going in with the vintage textured stamps. These are really good for your mixed media, or if I refer back to that, we used that large script stamp and I hand stamped. Now what I mean is I didn't pop it onto a block or stamping platform, held it on my hand, dabbed it in the ink,
sort of slapped
dabbed
it around,
on the mask, and then dabbed it onto the cardstock.
Yeah.
So we just slapped it around, just slapped the stamp around to get that texture. So you're going to get all of those. Then you're also going to be getting the exquisite lace. So this isn't to create a card, i.e. this will cut straight out your cardstock. The depth of the little pinpoint details that you've got there are simply phenomenal.
Yeah.
Incredibly small pinpoint detail in there as well. All of these little bits that come out, Ben, these are great to keep as shakers Use them for shaker elements within your cards. They're that small, or you can start to do easels. Do you know what? Within this show, I'll even show you how you can do a really fancy easel with cards like
thank
that.
you, that'd be amazing.
Then we're going to go in, which is one of my personal favourites, your diamond trellis. So this is a creator card. Use the detail die on its own. It's then going to cut that design into your cardstock. Use the outer die, it's going to release it out. But then you can start to bring in your nesting dies, create your apertures, pop your gems in there, your pearls, your glitter glues we've got on as well today at an incredible price.
Yeah,
pop them in the middle
Monday
there
mega deal.
if you want. Could just be the backdrop if you wanted it to be. Nice one for the males as well. Would work really well for your, not your Arabian Nights, Myths and Legends. That would be a good one for. Actually, it'd be good for both.
I think it would work for Arabian
It would
Nights.
actually work for
Yeah, I
both
think
of
it
them. Then we're then going to go into the elegant
Mediterranean
lace.
as well.
Mediterranean as well. A lot of these you can start to team together and mix and match if you want to. This one giving you the elegant lace border. So with that, you can see, of course, you've got that fine detail that matches the dies that I've already shown you. But that could be the top of maybe name placements if you want to. If you're doing invitations, wedding invitations, you could do that. Continue all the way along. Wrap around the bottle of your candles and mixed media and even things such as your home decor. And then last but by no means least, we don't have
definitely not with you.
a board for this one, but this is my absolute favourite. We did have a question this morning, are these available individually? Yes, they are.
They are.
However, we are limited. We're not limited stock, but we are limited in stock when it comes to them. We don't have loads of them individually. That's my favourite stamp. These are the two dies. Either die cut it as a whole, or the left edge, the right hand edge, or for this one of the reasons I love it is to colour in, and I know you're going to be like, well, obviously, Craig, it's a stamp, you're going to colour it
Obviously,
in.
Craig,
It's like,
a stamp.
obviously. But it's a confidence builder. Because it's big, it's quite spacious, but you've got the highlight lines in there. If you are a beginner colourist or you want to advance your colouring, firmly believe this is a perfect one to do that, because it's great to build up the confidence of alcohol colouring, water-based colouring. Maybe you're going to use your metallic pens, metallic pencils. Either way, it's a great one, but it's just a great all-round rose stamp as well. Good sizable one, and that is everything that also consists on that full bundle of that incredible price.
A few comments and questions going through. Hello, Sherland Helsford, who says hello to Ben and Craig from San Antonio. Hello, Carol Garwood-Beard says good morning to Craig, Ben and Jan. Rebecca Dancer joins us. Mary Shaw says happy Monday, everyone. Hope you had a terrific... they were a great band. I wish you could see what Craig just did across the studio there. What was that? An octopus?
They're on Celebrity Gogglebox again.
Happy Monday?
Yeah. Baz and Ted. No, Baz and...
He was called...
Bez and...
Sean Ryder.
Yeah, Bez and Sean. Did you see who's on Celebrity Gogglebox as well?
I don't watch it.
Oh, mate, come on.
No, I have no interest in watching someone watching TV.
It is brilliant. Claire and James Buckley.
Oh, your mates?
My mates.
Your mates, yeah.
My mates, they're on Celebrity Gogglebox.
They might get you on.
Sorry?
They might get you on.
Not on Celebrity Gogglebox.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a celebrity.
Maybe they get you on the normal one then.
That I would love me and you on Gogglebox. That would be brilliant. There'd be a lot of bleeps when it comes to certain, why are they doing that? What's the point of that? But oh my gosh, that would be so good. Do Celebrity Gogglebox. But yeah, Celebrity Gogglebox on a Friday, 9 p.m. You've got Claire and you've got James Buckley. They were brilliant.
Do you guys in the US have a version of Gogglebox?
Yes, and Australia.
Huh?
Yeah.
Was it just called Gogglebox US?
Actually, it is, yeah. Well, I know Australia is Gogglebox Australia, because we get it on E4.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Oh. You're flaming galah.
Jeffrey says, joyful day to Lord Ben and King of the Foil Press, Craigie Bagel, and the magnificent CTV crew. And Hilary says, oh, I wonder if Holly recognised your voice from the telly, so she knew you were a friend. But maybe. I kind of feel like animals are very good at knowing people who love animals. I think she probably just sensed I was just a, all-round sort of chipper guy.
Do you know what as well? No, not digressing, we're still on the subject, but we're digressing from roses. You know what I love watching on TikTok, although it does make me emotional, is when dogs have maybe not seen their owner for a couple of years. Maybe they've been unwell, in hospital for a long period
Or you get
time.
people coming back from
Army
service.
and service and all of that. And just going as you're saying, the dogs know. They know them. It's like, oh.
Whitney O'Toole says hello. Hello. Teresa Campbell says hello from Illinois. Hello. Julie Thorpe says, good afternoon to Ben and Craig and all at Crafters TV. I got this on the morning show. Mistress Dow is in. Denise Whiting says, hi everyone, just popping in as expecting guests for dinner today. I've ordered the Weekly Wonder as I may not get a chance later. Good shopping, Denise. Kathleen Huber joins us from Florida. Linda Sarrow joins us from New York. Trudy Bickham says, I must say, I think this has become one of my favourite collections. And I have a couple of questions that I'll ask to Craig when we...
I'm just trying to plug my plug in.
When we go back to... When we go back to Craig in just a second. There you go. Do you want a couple of questions?
Yeah. Oh.
Back. Can you ink the flower foaming dies, says Trudy Bickham. So, well, it could be twofold. Can you ink into the dies, and can you ink once you've cut from them with the flower forming foam? I think that might be the question.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
You'll probably be a little bit difficult to die cut, leave the die in place and then ink in, because of course the foam is quite flexible. If you can manage that, absolutely. And then yes, if you want to then ink, then yeah, go in with your water reactive. And
one final question for now. And by the way, keep questions coming in, and anything you want to see Craig do, craft-wise, feel free to get those requests in. And by the way, do shop for that Weekly Wonder, because I was thinking whilst Craig was saying about that die and stamp set on its own is popular. Remember, if that goes, then the Weekly Wonder's gone, isn't it? Because like individual shops, if you like, on the individuals affects the whole stock of the Weekly Wonder. Question from Rebecca Dancer.
Yes.
Says, would the trellis die be 3 seconds with the foil press?
I would say try 2 seconds.
Oh, really?
I would say 2, yeah. If 2's maybe pushing it, then yeah, go for 3. It's always best to start off on a smaller time. Yeah. Then you can increase it. I would try it with 2. If it's missing a little bit in the middle, then go for 3. But yeah, you're on the right track.
Excellent. Hello, Pamela in, see where you're from, Pamela Greenidge, Pauline Hassels from Cheshire, and Short joins us from Willis in Texas. Short, sweet, to the point, I think that is what that's supposed to say. Let's go. Yes, let's go. You know what? And we are going to demo. Can I just show you this though, Ben?
Oh, yes, I know what you're going to show. All of us were given some really lovely, thoughtful gifts over the weekend. We were given sweets. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, Crafty Stacey Lou brought me a whole case of white chocolate Cadbury's cream eggs. Seriously. Although, I am going to be bringing them in and sharing them, because even I can't eat that many.
Can I also just say thank you, Crafty Stacey Lee, for the sweets you bought me. I took them home. I had a few of the kids ate most of them. And Molly loved her dog toy, so thank you.
So thoughtful. But yeah, the handmade cards, the handmade gifts, everything like that was 100% appreciated. And as I put on Facebook, the 6 years that I've been here, I have kept absolutely everything that's been sent to me. So thank you so much. I do have to give a big shout out to Michael Adams and Stephanie for this incredible, thoughtful gift for my 40th. Everything that I love. We've got the tag on there as well.
Let's see what's in it.
My favourite paper pad's been the plaid pad.
Plaid pad.
And then as we open it up, we've got our unique...
Handmade.
So for my 40th. My current favourite paper pads, of course, being the Stardust Celebration. Unique bear here, WWE colours that the WWE use. We'll have, of course, got the tartan in there as well. And then my favourite sweets being the Tangfastic.
You're not opening
them? No, I'm not opening them. I want to keep it as a whole.
Oh.
I want to keep it as a whole, as it is, and as it's been intended.
What, forever?
Yeah, forever.
So you're never going to eat the sweets?
I'm never going to eat the sweets. No, I'm going to keep it as Stephanie and Michael have set it out. So yes, a massive thank you. You'll maybe notice throughout the morning, it has been just sitting at the back here behind me on the set. So take nothing away from everyone that brought gifts and that. Really appreciate it. But yeah, certainly with that one, I couldn't not say a massive thank you to Michael and Stephanie for that one. Now that I've done that, shall we have a play?
Yes, we shall.
Let's do this. So, we're going to do some flower making here. Now, when it comes to flower making, you're going to need an iron, a home iron, a craft iron, a travel iron, anything like that is going to be absolutely fine. I know I'm going to preempt a question, could you use a heat tool? Yes, but the heat tool is kind of, it's very quick, it's very direct, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to get that shape into it. I would highly recommend a heat tool. If you are absolutely fine with that kind of unique sort of shape of a flower, go ahead with the heat tool. You can absolutely do that. And then what we will do, now I did do this in the preview this morning, and that is cutting some of them. And I am going to do it again because although it's maybe just like die cut and we've seen it millions of times, because it's foam, it's not that it's slightly different, but what it is, Ben, is you can do multiple layers at once. So although I've already got some already cut out that I sat and done over the weekend, let's just show you here. Remember that these are our wafer thin dies.
Yeah.
I think I've given you the flower forming. Ben, can you look out a piece of, a piece of pink flower forming foam for me, please? You can use your card, you can use your papers as normal, but to show how many layers that you can then cut, thank you very much, I'm going to use my mini here.
Yeah.
So you could be more sparing when it comes to your actual foam, but what I want to do is I just want to show you how incredible that the foam is when it comes to the pressure of even the mini. So if I do it that way, so that's four layers that I've got. And then if I was to then turn that over, so that's 8 layers that I've got. Let's go in with one of them for now, and then I'm going to close it. So that's really quite thick. And then I'm just going to then run that one through. So if I just move that one to the side. Now there, it's maybe a bit too thick, but let's move it back because I'm right up against the top there. So if I would just run that one in, get that going.
Here we go.
Run it out. And then if I open that, what I can do is I can then prise all of that. Now those ones, those both base ones, they are cut. They just need that extra little bit of being prized out there.
That's brilliant. Was that 8 you say?
Into there, so that's 8.
Wowee.
So we can take those little bits out there. So that's 8 layers. Now those that watch me will always say, yeah, but Craig, you only ever cut 1 layer of cardstock at a time. You'll never do more. Why are you doing it with the foam? That is because, Ben, we're going to heat these. So any of these base layers underneath that are not quite precise, it doesn't matter. Because we're going to heat them and shape them, that's then going to neaten them up naturally. So what I can also do is, if I just chop away some of that excess, I can just open that up. So what's that? 4 layers that we've got now. And let's go in with, let's just do this, actually, let's do the medium one. Just again, so that I'm making sure that I'm maximising all of the foam. So we can pop that one on. So we know it cuts 8, 4 is going to be an absolute breeze, but I do have lots of the larger ones and the smaller ones cut. And all these little spaces that I've got left over, use the really tiny dies that you get within the set, as well as any other tiny card dies that you've got. I mean, there's our 4 layers, all cut to perfection. So you can see there, cut as normal. The only difference is I like to then do multiple layers.
Yeah.
So we can bring in some that I've already cut here. So we've got our large, we've got our small, large, medium, we've got the small here. And what we're going to do, earlier on this morning, this one here was 2 large, 2 medium and 2 small. Let's just kind of make it a little bit more fuller. So let's do 2 large, let's do, we'll go 3 medium, and then let's go 4 small. So we're going to go a nice full rows here.
2, 3, 4.
I'm then going to go in with sponge mat and ball tools. We're going to go in with what?
Sorry. It just sounds like a TV show, doesn't it?
What's that?
Sponge mat ball tools. who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Sponge mat ball tools. It's just the way that you said it in that sponge mat ball tools.
Oh, gosh. It could be.
Could be.
It could be, couldn't
Sponge
it?
ball tools.
If you don't have our ball tools, then don't worry, because you can use any branded ball tools. And same with the sponge mat. They're a little bit dense, but you can use any kind of sponge mat.
Stop calling it sponge mat. Sponge Bob.
I don't know why I call it sponge mat, a sponge brick. Doesn't matter what I'm going to say, it's still going to ring in your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, for me, I like to hold my iron upright. I know what Sarah will do
That's
anyway.
why his clothes are always creased. Sorry.
That's how you're meant to iron.
Yeah, you're only the other way round.
It's the other way
Oh.
round.
Oh,
So
dear.
that's why I'm burning myself and
Yes.
I'm not actually ironing my clothes.
Silly boy.
Silly boy. It's only taken me 39 years and 11 months to 39 years.
11 months.
11 months and 2 weeks
2 weeks, yeah.
to work it out.
Dear, oh dear.
So obviously you can do it Sarah's way if you want, with the ball tool, and then just let that do its thing and then drop off. What I'm going to do myself, I just like to go in flat, just using that ball tool, giving it that little bit of a helping hand and then letting it drop off. Don't worry with how it looks at the moment here. So I can then set that to the side. And then these ones, what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat that. We will do another flower within this show where we're going to bring in the finger toboggan that's
yes.
on the show with some stamens. So we're going to bring in that and show you how you can then start to ink them. Well, actually, we'll do a little bit of inking, but show you how to distress the edges, how you can then, of course, even start to shape the edges even more if you want to. So the reason I like doing it this way, I think, with roses, by using it in this simplest form, popping on the heat tool and then letting it drop off, do nothing more, really does create a beautiful closed rose. So drop off, and then we're going to do that last one, and then we're just going to then drop it off. Move that to the side. What I also like to do as well is I've taken the medium rose dye and I've cut it within the green. And then what I'm just going to do there is I'm just going to set that on just for a moment, let that drop off. And I'm actually going to use that as the foliage leaf, not the actual dye. So if I set that there for now, and then if I bring in, so we've got our 2 large, we've then got our 3 medium, and then we've got our 4 small. On the show as well, what we have got is we've got stamens. Now, I don't know if this specific pastel set is on the show. What I've just done is I just grabbed what I had at home, but I know we do have stamens on the show. We've got a nice mix of them, whereas it works within the bundle. You get the white for free and also the actual distressing edge tool is in there.
Just a question about the iron. Mistress Dow's asking what temperature the iron's set at.
So I've got it on hot.
Right.
Yeah, I've got it on hot. I'm not sure what Sarah does. I'm not sure if she
I think
has...
it's just as hot as it can go, basically.
Yeah, I usually
Obviously-
just do it. I just ramp it up to the hottest that I can.
Turn the steam off, obviously.
Yes, yeah. The thing is as well, if you do it on a lower temperature, it's sitting on there longer, it's slowly starting to shape. If
Yeah.
you want to have that little bit more control, then bring the temperature down if you want. But in all the years, I always will just use it on the high heat.
And also, and I know you touched on this earlier, but I realise people join us all the time. Julie Thorpe says, I have a question. Do we need to have an iron, or is there anything else that we could use?
So I'm going to tell you this, right? One thing you absolutely do not use is your foil press.
Right, yes.
Do not use your foil press, because that's continuous heat that's constantly going around while you're using it. If you use your foil press, and I think this is my stern voice that's coming in here,
Okay.
and I'm using this
Oh,
voice.
cross eyes as well.
Sorry?
Cross eyes there as well. No. No, not like that. I mean, as in you look cross. Not like that.
Oh, right, sorry. I think you mean I was like crossed eyes there. I was like,
You looked cross.
I looked cross, right,
Yeah.
yes. For those that haven't got the foil press out of the box, what will happen, or even if you do, if you use it, if you were to damage your foil press off the back of using it for flower forming, your warranty is null and void.
Ah, okay.
Because your foil press isn't meant to be on continuous heat. So don't use your foil press. Do you know what? You might be like, I'm not listening to you, Craig. If you use it, it just means if anything happens, your warranty's null and void. So just being completely honest with you on that one. But yeah, as long, you know, an iron, something like that, you can use your heat tool if you want to.
Yeah.
But what you're just going to have to do is kind of pin it down and be careful.
Don't burn your fingers.
If you don't pin it down, it's going to blow everywhere.
Yeah.
You could burn your fingers, which there may be that element of burning your fingers with your iron, but try it. As long as you've got the heat source, then try it within, of course, the heat tool. But to get that more kind of roundness, so to speak, of the flower, I would say go in with your iron.
I would have thought most people as well, let me know if you don't, but most people have an iron, I would have thought. Even one that, you know, you don't use to iron your clothes because you shake your clothes out or hang them up. I'm sure there must be an iron somewhere in your household. And
look, the worst case scenario, Ben, is you could still use this on your actual home iron that you use for your clothes.
Yeah,
you know,
oh yeah.
The only thing I wouldn't do is if you were to, and you know, we're going to digress slightly, but still sticking on with the subject, what I wouldn't do is if you are going to ink them, I wouldn't ink them, heat them on your home iron, and then go and iron your clothes.
No.
Because you can get that transfer of ink. So I wouldn't do it that way. But if you're just going to go straight on, die cut, and then go in and then heat, then you can just use your home iron. But I'm going to go in. I like to use my finger dauber for inking the edges here, because as you can imagine if you're trying to go over with your blending tool, Ben, you'll just keep smudging it all the way up.
Yeah.
So just go around and then you can be as strong as you want, all the way around the edges. If possible, I would always go around the opposite side as well. So this is the way that the petals curve. Then of course it means as they curve, it doesn't matter what direction they're on or facing, you're still going to get that inky edge, unless it's a specific flower or colour that you want on that one-sided. And then once you've added the colour as and where you want it, you just do exactly what I was doing beforehand. You're just going to go on, pop it on, heat it up. Depending on the colour, it can intensify slightly because you're shrinking, of course, the actual. It's a bit like shrink plastic in a way. But that is how then you can then ink the edges if you want to. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question when it comes to a heat source.
Pat says, I guess I have to rub the dust off my iron. I'm not sure if I've ever seen this technique with the foam flowers. Well, definitely get your iron out, even if it is just for doing this. Beverly says, I have 3 irons. I can't remember the last time I used it to iron clothes. 3 irons. Why do you have 3 irons?
I know, what? Yeah.
Interesting.
I've only got 1.
Brenda says, I don't have an iron. Well, there you go. I have an iron, as I've probably bored you with before. I am Iron Man. It's one job that Laura lets me do.
The ironing.
I've always ironed, yes.
You like ironing?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
And Laura sort of says, because her clothes are obviously smaller than mine, she can sort of shake hers out, sort of out of the dryer, and the creases just drop out of her clothes. They're a bit smaller, so she doesn't tend to need a lot of stuff ironed.
Yeah, I tend to, if I know I'm going somewhere, I'll tend to put my clothes on a couple of hours before I'm leaving. Yeah. And just kind of stretch the crinkles out.
Yeah. I tend to, you know, if I can't be bothered to iron, I just tend to wear a waistcoat.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I've got a T-shirt on underneath here, and it's crinkled.
Oh, okay.
It's like a crinkly crisp.
A crinkly crisp.
Crinkled crisp.
Yeah. You guys think I wear a waistcoat for smartness? No.
Laziness.
Laziness is what it is.
Pure and utter laziness.
I am, of course, lying. I did iron my shirt this morning.
Any old iron?
Any old iron? Any old iron. You look sweet, talk about deep. You looked up from your nappy to your feet, dressed in style, run with family fathers, on with tie on.
So while we're having a little bit of fun there, all that I'm doing is I've started with the smaller ones, and using my pokey tool, I've just gone through the centre. So I'm doing all my smaller ones first, gone into my medium one. So this is the last of the medium. And I'm just offsetting each of the petals, giving that little bit of a helping hand as well, just to cup all the way around here.
Do you always cut an odd number in total? Or does it not really matter?
What did I do it? So
you did 2, 3, 4, didn't you?
7.
So I done 9.
Oh yeah. So actually, I never even gave it a thought. It was just so that each layer was a different number, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'd done 2 with the large, 3 of the medium, 4 of the small. So actually, I never actually gave it a thought. Usually when it comes to layers, yeah. But no, that one, I didn't actually give it a thought, Ben.
Okay.
So in with that last one. So we're really going to go in with a full flower and then just helping to manipulate it. So this is no distressing of the edges, no inking of the edges, nothing like that. And then what I'm going to do is if we go back to the one that we've done within the green, so instead of opening it up and going in that way, what I'm going to do is turn it around and I'm going to go in with the centre, and then that's going to give me the green work onto the back.
That's so good.
And then what I've done there a moment ago is I've gone in with four stamens. So I've already done this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stamens. So your stamens, you're always then going to double back on themselves. So essentially we're getting double the amount. And then I just used a very, very, very thin, I'm coming to the end, jewellery wire. I actually got this, it was a pack of them, I'll need to get more out the works.
Yeah.
You know, it's like sell books and stuff like that. And it is that thin that you can snip it with your scissors. So if you want to know how thin, that's how thin it is. And then I've gone in and I've just threaded it through and I've just twisted and twisted to create that point. And then I'm going to snip off that little end there. I've got my hot glue gun ready to go. I would say with your flower forming, this is going to be your best friend here. You can use glue gel at the end, but you're going to have to wait a long time for it to dry.
Yeah.
I always go with the glue at the very end. You can, if you want to, start to put hot glue in between each layers to kind of really close cup the petals if you want to. I like that free-flowing kind of look. And then because they're really robust, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch from underneath and inside. I'm going to take my pokey tool out. I'm going to go in with my, so it was a little squeak off of my
sponge mat.
foam mat there. And then the point of my wire, I'm just going to then feed that back through into the back there. And then it's entirely up to you. Do you want them to be sticking out quite proud? Do you want them to be fully in? You know, if you want to then pull them right in to the centre there. Or again, let's maybe go in the middle. So I'm just going to then prise them out. And then we can then turn that around. And then I'm going to go in just to the base. This is where I just do that one bit of hot glue just to stick it in. And then because it's the leaves, I'm just going to run just a little bit of the hot glue round by the sides here. So this is going to kind of hold it in as well. So instead of the leaves kind of falling outwards, it's hugging them by holding them in. And then depending on, you know, if you do all large, you're going to get a large full rose. If you do all small, you're going to then get diddy ones. But then once that centre bit's done within the stamens, what we can then do is we can then take our scissors and we can snip that one off there, and then we can then start to, if we want to, manipulate once again, close in those petals, and then we can go in, and then we've then got a really, really beautiful flower, which what we can do, let's bring in some of these here. So we could go down into the base there. We could even go into this one, so maybe just come down underneath there. What about even going up into this corner? And although that's pink, what I'd done at home the other day, Ben, is I created smaller ones, but with the red.
Yeah.
So that's just the medium ones.
I feel like that larger size as well, you could almost turn into like a little brooch as well, couldn't you, to wear, or like on a wristband or a hairband.
Something like that, absolutely. Yeah, you could do. And then what you can then also do if you want, so if we just sit that one there just for a second. So if we take a smaller one, hold that for a sec, drop that off. Let me just do a couple here, hold, drop. If I take another couple, so hold, drop, and then one more, we're just going to go hold and drop. And then we're going to go back, and so let's take another few, and I'm going to just pinch one of them. Let's then pop just a teeny bit of
careful.
hot glue.
Careful.
You can, do you not like that?
It just makes me, because I know how hot it is.
You can, if you want to, feed a little stamen through there if you want to. Or what we can then also do, if we want to create really small little buds, we could open that one up and we can go back in with another one. We can then go in with a point of glue, open it up, pop that one into there. So now what we're starting to create is our tiny little bud of our rose. And then even then, if we want to do one more, so you can do just a couple together to make them a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Or we can then go in and then just keep going and starting to create the most beautiful diddy little rose heads. Just open that one up.
Just whilst I'm watching you as well,
Yeah.
Karen's just asking, she says, I'm loving this demo, but I'm just wondering if you double thread a needle with cotton, would that pull the stamens through?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah, it would. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So if you keep the cotton, keep the needle in place.
Yeah.
Because you need, obviously, if it's just cotton thread, you can't prise that through the foam. So keep the needle in place and then pull that whole lot through. Pull the thread through with, of course, the stamen on the end. So absolutely, yeah, you can do that.
Good idea.
And then actually, do you know what? I'm going to, because I like the look of this, let's go in, and I'm even then going to add that one into there. How cute is that?
It is cute. Teeny
So
weeny.
incredibly cute that if you do a few of them, what we can then do is then, if we bring that one back in, you can then start to offset them all the way round.
Yeah.
So you can go from the larger one, then you can go from a diddy one. That one we're done in the previous show. I didn't glue down the edges, I kept it kind of flowing. But really, really robust. So you don't need to worry about whether you're creating them for frames, if they're going on the cards, going into a box, into an envelope box, does not really matter. And that's them in the simplest form. No distressing of the edges yet, no crinkling of the edges yet, not any manipulation yet. This is all the things that you can still do. Then you've got the dies, you've got the folder, you've got the stamps to do all of that backdrop decoration.
There's so many lovely comments coming through for these. Thank you to Hillary, who says, I iron as I go if I'm going anywhere. I iron my outfit before I get ready. One iron I purchased was a very cheap one, says Beverly, so I purchased a better one. Oh, this is Beverly with the 3 irons. So I purchased a better one, which my mum found too heavy, so she purchased another. My mum used to iron absolutely everything, socks and underwear. My mum used to do that as well. I vividly can remember her on a Sunday night getting the washing out and piles of washing. I used to just stare in amazement as she used to iron socks and pants and tea towels. And she also used to iron the... ironing pillowcases. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that. Have they?
You never worn iron boxers?
Well, I have, because my mum used to iron them.
Yeah.
Why? Have you, what?
I do it.
You iron your boxers?
And socks.
What, and
Not
put them
the
on
bedding.
and put them on straight after?
Well, no, I'll put them away in the drawer.
Ah.
I'll put them in the drawer so that.
Do you fold them or do you like roll them up?
So if I don't have time, if I need to get the washing away and I don't have time to do any iron, then what I'll do is I'll then just bunch the socks pairs together. If I do have time to iron, I will iron them and then I will then just fold them and then put them in the drawer.
And what's the experience for you wearing ironed pants?
It's just smooth. It's just really nice and smooth, and it's boxers. I don't wear pants.
Oh.
It is really, really smooth. You don't have that kind of creased crinkle just kind of in the side of your bum cheek or elsewhere.
You get it all here, don't you? You get it all. Love the baby roses, says Stephanie. After watching Craig, I have loads and loads of flower forming foam, says Karen, and I've always not had the wire, so I'll try this afternoon. Thank you, Craig. Stephanie, thank you. She says, I've sent a couple of photos to the studio. We'll have a look for those, Stephanie. And I've loved this demo, says Trudy. I've saved it to its own playlist. Just very quickly before we go for a break, I did see a question come through. Trudy says, I wonder if there's some kind of covering for an iron to use so ink won't get on the iron's plate itself. Any suggestions beside a separate iron? I think the safe thing to do though, Craig, is like you said, is just try and make them before you ink them, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah, because there's nothing that you can really put on that. It's not like an iron cover, so it would just then slide off. You can't put in...
Unless you put like an old tea towel over the top of it, but then it would take longer to heat, wouldn't it?
It would take that little bit longer, yeah. Yeah. The only other thing is ink them, heat them, form them, and then as soon as it's cooled down, just take a damp cloth and then wipe the ink off. But yeah, you don't get really any iron covers. No.
Keep the questions coming through. Any more comments? Anything you want to see in the second half of the show? Because I can't believe we're almost halfway through. So anything you want to see, please feel free to ask. And if we can, we will do. We are going to have a short break. Did I hear we're seeing something new in this break? Were you just saying in my ear? Oh, we are going to see a short message whilst you check out your baskets from our great leader. Here she is, Sarah Davies.
Hello everyone, Holly here again. I can't craft as I only have paws, but I thought you might like to see my favourite toy who keeps me company when my mummy is crafting. So here he is, Space Bear. He lives in space, but he comes to see me when mummy is in her craft room using her crafters goodies that she loves and seems to get delivered every day. Just saying. Anyway, here he is, my favourite toy, Space Bear. Thanks again everybody, bye!
A few weeks ago on the show, we were talking about places where all you guys lived. Well, we might have used Google Earth just to have a bit of a sneaky look at the village, town, or city that you lived in. And I thought it might be quite funny if I wrote a little ditty and I put on my Facebook page, where do y'all live? And I'll put your towns and cities and village into my little song. But I didn't realize that there would be about 425 responses. So I'm gonna cram as many places into this song as I can, but I won't get them all in. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. We've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. We craft in Lydney, Lynbrook, Launceston, Lehana, Tampa, Darlington, Alma Beach, Sedalia, Wills Point, Widnes, Wildwood, Weldon, Marshall, Jackwell Lake, Walkerburn, Yate, Bay, Hesperia, Sublimity, Pinho, Avon, Freeport, Mableton, San Jose, Enumclaw, Great Bend, Detroit, Keniston. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters, we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Parachute, Paradise, Pollux, Papillion, Sheepshead Bay, St. Petersburg, Seacon, Sutton, Saturday, Bristol, Brighton, Brooklyn, Blackwood, Barnsley, Tide Squeeze, South Shields, Tampa Hills and Bentley, Tampa, Pillar, Tucum, Cary, Ottawa, Hull, Harrisburg, Lexington, Tupelo, Cincinnati, Austinburg. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters, we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Loxahatchee, Lakesville, Lawrence, Lacey, Livermore, Albuquerque, Weeki-Wachee, Pensacola, Ellsmere Park, Mechanicsburg, Williamsburg, Rebella, Houston, Burlington, Wet Wang, Market, Drayton, Yale, Medford, Wellington, Wapakoneta, Homer, Sassa, Santa Rosa, Wichita, Honolulu, Riverdale, Melbourne, Commerce, Fentanyl. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters, we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Newton Abbey, Richmond, Dudley, Georgetown, East Kilbride, Eugene, Ferrum, Rhinebeck, Walkerstown, Ewaheim, Fort Wayne, Gloucester, Chester, Long Beach, Raphael, St. Dominic's and Cloud, St. Augustine Beach, Sand Springs, Romford, Tulsa, Traverse City, Wesley Chapel, Ballarat, Medina, Ramble City. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters, we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Sawbrook, Tucson, Kissimmee, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Biloxi, Latte, Elmira, Glendale, Scottsdale, Anchorage, and Hurtville, Seattle, Gold Canyon, Ipswich, Cumberland, Unionville, Toledo, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland, Gold Canyon, Altoona, Calounda, Port Orange, Clover, Rising Sun. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. Hey, crafters, we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. And there's a few more places I didn't manage to get into the song. West Runton, Newcastle, Kingswood, Sandbach, Carlisle, Bewdley, Albury, Durham, Springfield, Ashington. We craft in Greenville, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sumter, Oak Park, Winchester, Knapp Hill, Stoke-on-Trent, Mount Pocono, Greenville, Charlotte, Oxon Hill, Tunbridge Wells, Modesto, Haverhill, Sierra Vista, Arecibo, Morgantown, O'Fallon, Aurora, Black Forest. We craft in Hermiston, Brownsburg, Henderson, Socorro, Fort Myers, Manningham, Hilliard, Farmingdale, East Moline, Summers Point, Calgary, Charleston, Sawston, Malden, Galloway, Fitchburg, Hopewell, Aberdeen, Winstead, Castlewood, Chatsworth, Limestone, Victoria, Willoughby, Rockland, Canton, Falmouth, Conestoga, Lyndhurst, Ashbourne, and Cluj-Napoca. Oh yeah. Yeehaw.
Hi everyone, it's Sarah here, and I've got some really exciting news. Club Inspire Week is here. For 1 week only, we are supercharging Club Inspire, and we're giving Club Inspire members the chance to win free shipping for a whole year. But that is not all, because every single day we've got an extra special treat waiting for you. From surprise freebies to chances to win exclusive prizes, there's something exciting waiting for you every time you visit. So make sure to join us all week to celebrate all things Club Inspire.
That wasn't Sarah to start off with, was it?
But I said, didn't I? I said, what we thrown to? And they went, oh yeah, we're going to throw to a video of a little message of Sarah. So that's what I did. And then Holly Collie came up. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Sarah's at the end of the VT.
Don't tell her tomorrow.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine if that happened tomorrow?
Stitched me right up there, didn't they? Don't tell Sarah tomorrow. Don't tell. Although, it was Holly Collie, you know.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. How unprofessional. We are back. Thank you for checking out your baskets. Lots of comments coming through. Bought the flower forming foam before, and this is really helpful, says Karen. Ben, my 21st birthday present from my mum was an ironing board, says Karen Hughes. What? An ironing board? Did you ask for it, or was it wrapped up? I wonder what it could be. Is it a football?
Yes, it's a surfboard.
Yes, surfboard. Oh, it's a... I remember ironing sheets with an iron that was heated on a coal stove, says Evelyn Kiefer. And Alexander says, hi Craig and Ben and all. My mum also used to iron everything Sunday mornings whilst Dad checked to see if he'd won the pools. I do iron tea towels and pillowcases, but not towels or bedding. Well, I never did. Yeah, towels, no. Tea towels, no. Bedding, no. Pants, no. Socks, no. Clothes, occasionally.
What about your bra?
What was that?
What about your bra?
No. I very rarely wear it these days. Too uncomfortable.
Not much there, is there? Sorry. Unless you're in panto, of course.
The Vintage Rose Weekly Wonder. If you want this, by the way, do go quickly because stocks are dwindling. Lots of people are jumping in and grabbing this. So this is everything that you are going to receive. It's basically, essentially, 3 smaller bundles. We've bundled together to give you one big bundle that you are saving £26 or $35 on. If you go for this bundle, it's like we're giving you the linen cardstock, the 6x6 paper pad, and then the vintage texture stamp set for absolutely nothing. The papers are gorgeous. I'll give you another quick flick through here, but take a look at these stunning papers in here. I mean, my goodness me. Roses for all sorts of beautiful occasions in all sorts of different colour palettes. You've got things a little bit more stripped back on the B side, so if you want to kind of stamp into those a little bit more, maybe get your stencils out, whatever you want to do, you can, but beautiful florals for all occasions, as I say, and lots more. As you delve into these, you see like the interest as far as, you know, different patterns are concerned, different script in there as well. It is 36 double-sided sheets that you're getting in the 6x6. What is lovely is that you will also receive all of your matching linen cardstock to go with this as well. The colours in here, you're getting 6 different colours, 24 sheets, giving you 4 sheets of each in the beautiful reds and pinks and yellows in there, and you've got lots of different shades of green for all of your foliage too. That comes alongside your flower forming foam. So yeah, if you do want to be able to recreate what Craig has been showing you over the course of the last half hour or so, you can, because you get your 12 sheets in there, 5 sheets of the red, 5 sheets of your pink, and then you've got your 2 sheets of the green in there too, to work alongside all of your flower forming dyes. So yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant, brilliant system. If you just, by the way, want to get the foam and the dyes on their own, you can do, but it's all included within the bundle. All of these dyes, and as Craig has shown you, you can layer these ones up with the leaves as well to create beautiful foam flowers. But of course, you can use these with your paper and cardstock as well. Then within the bundle, you've got Craig's favourite die and stamp set, which is that beautiful rose bouquet, stunning this. And the fact is that you've got that really large stamp in here in a 3-piece set with that die allowing you to place it on this side of the stamp, on that side of the stamp. Use it also, you can cut it out, or you can kind of have it in different places on your project, making it super usable and a really nice size to get colouring and gain that confidence. You've got beautiful edgeables in here, this diamond trellis, which I know a lot of people have had their eyes on. That's a stunning creator card. Work well with this collection, work really nicely with things like the Mediterranean Dreams, with your Arabian Nights as well. Then you've got this exquisite lace die set, some beautiful frames in there, that large one and that smaller frame where you can kind of, you know, pop in some florals, use that to frame your foam flower florals, use it, the smaller one maybe, to pop in some of these sentiments that you've got as well. You've got your vintage textures, that's stunning. If you were watching the show earlier on, that's the die, or the stamp I should say rather, that Craig was using to create that beautiful embossed image. And then you've got other little swirls in there as well, little sentiments to go with that as well. Alongside that is your Baroque frame. If it ain't Baroque,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it. And that again is beautiful. Whether you go portrait or indeed landscape on that one, it's entirely up to you. And it's one of those again which will work with a whole host of different collections. And finally, oh, I love it, the 3D Timeless Roses embossing folder. Once again, if you want to go back and see that in action, pop you back to Wake Up Call this morning, where you can see Craig creating with that. Did a lovely demonstration, embossing and then colouring, and then also a demonstration where he did some letter pressing by both adding ink to both sides of the embossing folder, showing you letter pressing technique on a deboss and an emboss. 40 quid if you're platinum, 48 bucks if you're in the US, obviously tariffs apply. If you are not yet a Club Inspire member, join up today and you will pay that price there, 20% off your first order, which is great news. And for all of you who are already in the Club Inspire program, remember, as per the last message there with that last message there with Sarah, you can shop this week as you normally do, and for every spend over 25, you will be going into a draw, stand a chance of winning yourself free shipping for a year, which is cray. And Sarah will be here tomorrow, and there's more special stuff coming your way. I can say no more than that. Hi to Hillary, who says Sarah met Holly Collie and said she was beautiful, so you'll be okay, Ben. Whew. Dodged that one, didn't I? Right, we are going to go back to Craig. Now, as I say, for the next 50 minutes or so, we are open to your suggestions, we are open to your questions. If you want to see anything, if you want to ask anything, feel free to do so. If not, he's just going to continue to play over there. And I think you had so much fun making that last flower. Are you going to make another one?
Yeah, well, indeed. What we're going to do is, on the show, we do have a bundle of stamens where it also gives you the petal distressing tool here. Now, this one here, what this is for, so when we first started to bring out our version of the flower forming foam, what Leanne was doing was Leanne was creating flowers, and what she was doing is creating that distressed look. So she was going like that, and then going like that. It doesn't have to be neat. And then what she was doing, just by a hand herself, was going along Ben, and then she was just going around. She was just rolling it all the way through, like so, just going in, crinkling it up, crunching it up, starting to roll it back and forth, back and forth. But as you can imagine, if you're wanting to do a lovely bouquet, or you're wanting to do a lovely kind of floral wreath, something like that, that's going to take ages. But not only that, that's going to be painful on the hands.
Yeah.
So this is where she come against like this friction against each other here. I'm still going to use that one, but what I'll show you the alternative now is, you can do the same. We can then just cross over, don't need to be neat whatsoever, just bunch it up. And then your mat here, you've got grids that are going in one direction, and then you've got your finger toboggan, as you like to call it, where the grid's going in. What here looks like that same direction, but what happens is when we go that way, we're actually going against the grain. So by popping that down and then just rolling back and forth, that is like going to give you that same effect, but what you're doing... It's like a little clog.
It looks more like a clog now, actually.
It does, yeah.
Like a little dance.
It does look like a clog. I mean, have we got our own? See, this one's mine from my craft bar. I was just looking to see if we had a studio one here and we could do like 2 little clog fingers. But yeah, all that you're doing is going back and forth, back and forth. If it starts to come away like that, don't worry, just crunch it down and then rock and roll back and forth, back and forth. What it's doing is it's stretching out the foam, it's making it even lighter if you want to. And then what we can then do is open it up and then we can then start to then shape it even more and manipulate it with our ball tool. So I'm going to go in with my ball tool. Before I do what I've just done there, what I do still want to show you as well, you don't have to have a heat source or distress the edges, Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken one that I've already cut, and what you can do is the heat from your fingers automatically start to then shape the petals. So be careful. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of holding my thumbs over it. I'm not actually pressing hard. I'm just gently adding a teeny bit of pressure so that I'm stretching it all the way round. If you tear it, don't worry, because nature's not perfect.
No, exactly.
You get petals that aren't perfect, some that have fallen off, some that are a little bruised, some of them have got slits in them. So don't ever worry about that. Still use them, even although you've maybe got a little slit in there. But by doing it this way, straight onto the ball tool, you're still going to get that little, or you're still going to get that flow and roundness. It's just not as thin as what we've just done here because we've stretched it out. I was about to say stretch it out as far as we could. I could then stretch it out that little bit more, but then what that just means is it's even more delicate when we do come to shape them. So if you want it to go in here, you can do that with the ball tool. The larger the ball you use, the more open cup the petal will be. The smaller, that smaller cup that it's going to be, because of course it's got that smaller ball that's starting to run its way round. But as you can see then, just starting to then shape them. So they don't have to be close cut petal for roses if you don't want it to be. And then this one, I'm just doing exactly the same, being a little bit more careful this time because it's even more delicate because we've stretched it out. And then you can then just go edge to edge, like so, which is then going to give you a little bit more of a fuchsia look. The drop of the petals from the fuchsia. But then if you wanted to then stretch them out even more, you can do that just by holding with one thumb and then building up that heat with the other thumb here, just starting to then prise that all the way around, where it's starting to give you more of that openness. But what it's doing, it's incredibly even lighter than the ones that we've done without starting to distress it. And I'm just going to keep doing that for a few moments.
Chu says, is that Baroque one metal or plastic? It's just an embossing folder, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Not a cut and emboss.
Not cut and emboss.
That's what you were thinking. So just an embossing folder. Or I suppose if you have any nesting dies, you could then cut out that oval to create it as an aperture, should you wish.
Yeah, the oval ones would be good for that. The oval nesting dies, any oval ones.
We're up to date on the comments. Any questions? You know what? I'm really enjoying watching Craig do this. I was saying to him in the break, actually, feel like we've not done any flower making shows for a while, so I'm finding this quite therapeutic and quite interesting again, sort of refreshing the memory, because I feel like we went through a phase of doing many flower forming shows, and then we sort of haven't done them for a while, so this is quite nice actually. And I feel like the comments are echoing that, with a lot of people saying they've got lots of foam at home but then didn't quite know what to do with it, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's great then. If you're happy with all of that at home, then we can keep doing that for sure.
Is it something you do quite a lot in your own crafting?
So this is what I always, it's not, because going by what you were saying there before, Ben, we've not had them on shows as of late. So therefore I've not done them. But what will happen is that if I do start to do them, Ben, I
Right,
start
yeah.
to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So if I'm ever prepping these for shows, I have to do it last. I have to do my flower forming prep last. Because if I do it at the start of the day, I'll just get carried away. I'll go down that rabbit hole and I'll just keep on creating flowers because it's so addictive to do it. It's so therapeutic. So it was lovely. I didn't do much on Sunday, but I did cut loads out and had a little bit of a play just to refresh the brain, so to speak, when it comes to creating them. But really, you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. It's entirely up to you whether you keep them natural and shape them, or if you add that heat source to them. If you go with the bigger balls, if you go for the smaller ones, there's just so many ways in which you can then start to use these and get creative with.
And like you said, nature is so perfectly imperfect.
It is.
That you're not like pressurized to be
Perfect.
exact and making sure like each and every single petal's exactly the same, because
Not at all.
it's not.
Not at all. No. So we're just going in, so I'm just holding with my thumbs and gently pressing that around, working it round, heat within my thumbs, and this kind of light friction going all the way around, starting to shape it. So there's that one there. So I know that one oh no, I didn't. Did I do the finger toboggan? No, I never. Those were the finger toboggan, that one wasn't. But it's just so much lighter as well that you've got when it comes to the flowers. So let's do that one again. Let's bring in the finger toboggan. So in that last break, I've done 4 of the medium flowers. So exactly the same as what I've been showing you. This is the smaller ones that I've been doing here. So we're just going to then crinkle that one up, and then we're just going to rock and roll back and forth here, starting to then build it up, stretching out the foam, and then we can do more if we want to. Go in if we want to, stretch it that little bit more. DJ Craig is in the house. C to the R to the A to the I to the G.
To the
L to the A to the I to the R to the D.
Craig, Laird. Sorry, we're both sat down now, and I was just getting a bit into the groove there. I've destroyed.
What's in your packed
display.
lunch?
Huh?
What's in your packed lunch box?
Oh yeah, there was a nice bit of ham from yesterday, but you don't need to see me now. Go on, what are you doing?
So we're just going to go in and then carefully start to open them ones up. And again, yes, I'm being careful, but on the other hand, if I were to accidentally rip it or tear it, I'm not bothered in the slightest. So opening it up, like so. I'm going to go in with one. So this will be the last one. So that'll have been 4 small that I've done. And then I've already done the 4 medium. But what we can do is that obviously this is going to create much more of an opened petal flower. Maybe not necessarily a rose, but more of an open petal flower. But then you could create a rose and you can sit that in the middle of this if you want to. Or you can really start to close it over using the hot glue gun, which we'll do in a moment here. But it is really just so relaxing.
Hilary says, question, can you use the flower foam for any flower dye, like the ones that are like quilling ones, if you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, you can. Yeah, yep, absolutely.
100%.
What I would be inclined to do, actually, Ben, is quill it. So, okay. So something like that, I would probably be inclined to quill it, then the heat tool with a light waft over the top.
Yeah, because it's going to be difficult to...
It's going to be difficult to put it onto an iron.
Yeah.
So I'd be inclined to...
Because you roll those, don't you, as opposed to shape them?
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. Essentially, Ben, because the flower forming dyes are exactly the same as our wafer thin dyes, you could cut your foam, flower forming foam in anything.
Yeah.
It's just, is it going to serve the purpose to actually actively make something? You know, like, you could, what I'm trying to say, you could cut our new or newer silhouette dyes in the foam. Yeah. But what's the point?
Exactly right.
Do you know what I mean? So
I mean,
yes,
if
you can cut anything, but what's the point?
That's funky foam, isn't it? If you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
If you want to do it, I would do that within the craft funky foam. Yeah. So let's just shape work that
was a
all
ghost
the
that
way
time.
round, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create kind of a little bit of a closed bud to start with. I'm not going to put any stamens in the middle. I'm going to leave it like that, move that out the way. Let's bring in my my glue gun. So I've gone and just quickly grabbed some glue sticks here. So if you find it's not quite at the end there, but you need to put in more, go to the end and just heat it up with a nib. So heat it up, you see it starts to melt, pop it in. Actually, this isn't quite as far in as I thought it would, but it'll still do. Just let that. What I'm doing here, I would actually wait until you can start to see the end of the glue stick within that little channel, then do what I've just done there.
Yeah.
But let's move that out the way. So this one, let's take the small ones to start with. So we've got the petals that are opened up, but I'm actually going to kind of start very, very roughly, actually, no, I'm going to go inwards, roughly start to then like pinch them together. So we're starting to create a little bit more of that closed bud. If you've got maybe something like a teeny little polystyrene ball, something like that, you could pop that in there if you want to. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go in here like so, and we're going to shape them. Do you know what I am going to do? Let's go in, let's add some stamens, because it means if anyone does look in, you're still going to get that look with the stamens in them. Plus, what it's also doing, it's just going to make it a little bit easier to form the bud. So it's just going to go in with the wire. So I've taken, so there's 4 there. You can do as many or as little as you want, but keeping in mind, you're going to bend them over, so therefore you're going to double them. So we're going to take the wire and take the 4 of them here, like so. And then we're just going to then kind of feed that one through the center, turn that back, twist it around, and then we're going to start to twist. So we're just going to keep on twisting and twisting, like so.
Twist again.
Just twist again.
Like you did last summer.
Summer. So let's go in there. Good song. Good song.
Is that Chubby Checker?
I don't know who it is. Still too young. I just know the song.
Just again, let's just again.
Just twist again.
I'm sure it's Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker. What a name, eh?
I know.
What a name.
If it was him. It was Chubby Checker.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. And I feel like they then re-released that or did like another version of it in the 80s with the Fat Boys. You look that up. I'm sure that was like a re-release or like a remix in the 80s. Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys.
The Fat Boys.
Yeah. I'm sure. My radio knowledge coming out here.
I'm digressing slightly. I'm not doing the but
Yeah.
because I forgot I wanted to do something
go.
else. Was the Fat Boys.
It was. Yeah. Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys.
What a name, eh? You wouldn't get that away with that nowadays, would you?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. I'm with you, Craig, says Janelle. If I start making them, I can't stop. I just keep experimenting with different combos to see what new things I can come up with. I mean, look at that, for goodness sake. It does look real, George. It does look real.
Does,
incredible.
It looks absolutely incredible. So let's do the time warp again. No.
It's just a jump to the left.
Put your hand on your hips. Yeah. I don't know why I'm in such a sing-songy mood.
No, it's not normally very sing-songy.
I'm not. Let's go in. So this is just another one within the green
wow.
knitted cart. Look at that. How smart is that? How beautiful is that? No heat to it other than our thumbs. So of course you want to then bind that together. We're just going to go and take that out, pinch that together, and we're just going to feed that one through. I'm just going to pull that through. Now this one I am going to go quite taut within the middle there, and then I'm going to add just a teeny little bit of my glue, and I'm only doing this just underneath the leaf petal because I want them to be kind of like more in place. Keeping in mind as well, you know, even if you didn't add the glue behind the leaf, don't worry, because as that's then pressed against your project, that's then going to, of course, then pull the leaves up against the back of that rose. So it's not imperative that you do hot glue behind the leaves, but I just like to do it because I'm not actually popping it onto something. So therefore, I just want to then kind of have them in place for all of you to see. So I'm just then going to bunch. And do you know what I like as well? I've got a little strand of hot glue. It's like a little bit of ice. It's like a little bit of frozen ice. And I'm going to take it off. But this is where you can come in with your glitter glues, Ben.
Oh, I love that idea. Yeah, adding a little bit of sparkle. They're on tonight, Monday Makers.
Yeah, could be a little sparkle frost on there as well.
Could you add your...
Glossy highlights?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So like a little bit of raindrops.
Yeah.
That's then come away. And then what I'll do is I'll just snip this off so you can see. I'll add a bit of glue on the back just after. But look at that.
What about like your shimmer sprays, like the shimmer sprays?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Shimmer sprays, no problem whatsoever. So we can go from our... What one did I do? No, wasn't that one. Wasn't that one? Was it that one? Was it that? I can't remember what one it was. I've done before now. No, it wasn't that. There we go. It's the pink one. It's the pink one.
Oh, yes.
So we could go for more of that closed cup, Ben, or we can, using the iron, or that one, we can then go for more of that open, but that frilled look there with no iron, just using our fingers. And don't worry, if you think, oh, it's a little bit too big or too full, don't worry about it. Do exactly what I've done, but only do the small ones. Or, of course, you can use the diddy ones if you want to. But then that, again, if I was to bring in, I'm just grabbing a few from underneath here. But if I was, I mean, I know that is the blue, but look at that.
Class.
Class, isn't it?
Absolute class.
Absolute class. That one there, even if we'd done that, so I would maybe move the sentiment, but such class. Into here, down into there, just finishes it off just nicely. And then what you could do is, have you got did I give you the linen as well, Ben? Can I get a piece of green linen? And this is where, as I was saying, you could use the leaf dies to cut into the green flower forming, and you can either heat it, not heat it, that's up to you.
Which green do you want?
Let's go, I think that deep green.
Deep green.
The deep green. This is where what I will tend to do is use the leaf dye with cardstock. So then what we're going to get is we're going to get that tactile feel with the flower forming foam, but then the leaves, what we're going to get is that tactile feel with the cardstock, or in this case, the linen card. So if I close that one over, and 2 would be fine. I would maybe actually do 2 of the smaller leaf, but I'll just use these 2 for now. And then all that I would do is come along, this is one of Nicole's finished samples, is then bend that in the middle there, Ben. Pop that one into there, and tuck that one underneath there, like so. And then, I mean, just look, if I tuck that in a little bit more there, into there. I mean, look at that.
That is amazing.
Class or what?
Absolutely.
Absolute class. And that was just me sitting in front of your eyes, manipulating them, heat with my fingers, no heat iron for that one there, and then just binding that one together.
God, do you know what, Craig? There's so many lovely comments coming through of people just so happy that we've done a show all about making flowers. Stephanie says, these petals remind me of the rose bushes in my backyard. They were blooming beautifully in the heat last week. Mary Beth says, gorgeous rose, Craig. And Stephanie says, I've saved the show. So much info. Thank you. Always do that as well. You know, if you picked up this collection previously and, you know, you're enjoying the hints and tips, it's always worthwhile, whether you save it into your playlist on YouTube or indeed just jot down, you know, when it is in a little notebook so you can always come back to it. Saves then trying to find it again, doesn't it, later down the line. And Pat Demarest says, beautiful rose, Craig. It has been a fantastic show. When we come back, we're only going to have about half an hour. So last chance, I would say, to fire in any questions, anything you want to ask, anything you want to see. You know, even if it's just a case of, oh, can Craig die cut this set? Or can Craig stamp this? Whatever you want from this particular collection, we are happy to help.
Whatever you need.
What?
Whatever you need.
Whatever you like. You pay your money, you take your choice. Bang, bang. Anyway, we are now going to have a short little break. I'm not going to throw exactly to what's coming up next because I'll probably get it wrong. So it's just a break coming up. It is the usual stuff. So get to the checkout and see what comes up. I don't know.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community. I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends. And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials. Be it on CTV, Facebook, or YouTube, everyone is so supportive and I've learned so much. Most of all is the good times and lots of laughs, which have gotten me through some tough days. So lots of love, my crafty friends, and to the CC team. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
I'm here because I do love Crafters Companion products and Crafters TV.
Your products are great, made with great care and are second to none.
Love all the products. I love the tutorials we get.
Your papers shimmer and make all our crafts shine.
I love all of the products and all of the paper pads, of course.
I love Crafters TV because it shows you the best tips and tricks on how to use your crafty stash.
The quality of the products are phenomenal. Value for money is exceptional.
Amazing presenters, craft goods galore, launch days and craft vaults, deals bundles and more.
Your pens, pencils, and markers make all crafters say, they are mine.
Or I love Crafters Companion. Well, it's because I'm not a very good crafter, and Crafters Companion makes me look better.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty program today and receive 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits to joining Club Inspire include special members-only sales, and you can receive discounts or exclusive access to products, and even free gifts. You will receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro that you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. See if you can craft your way up to our ultimate Club Inspire tier, Platinum, where you'll enjoy the very best discounts and rewards that we offer. As you keep climbing through the club, you can actually reach Platinum Plus and even Platinum for life. The more points you collect, the more you will be rewarded within our amazing special Club Inspire community. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Hi, I'm Alex Girling. I don't normally wear glasses, but to read, I need to wear my glasses. I've known of Crafters Companion for probably the whole time that they've existed, which happens to be the amount of time that I've been doing papercraft. I'm a cross stitcher originally, knitting, things like that, and then I sort of discovered papercraft, and that's really taken over everything that I do. And I have to say, having just gone through all of my craft stash, the majority of what I have is Crafters Companion. Nothing compares, just brilliant. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I'm sorry, I'm not in my craft room. It's quite dark in there and the lighting isn't fantastic, and I'm waiting for my lunch. So, thank you. Keep up the brilliant work. You're all amazing. Thank you very much.
Talk some absolute nonsense in here sometimes in the breaks. Craig is just currently doing a bit of colouring, getting ready for his next demo with the tri-blends. He's saying he's the tri-blend tribal chief, not the...
Acknowledge me.
Yeah.
George, put your hand up in the air. It's up, good.
OTC, OTC. Beautiful Rose Craig, says Pat. Hello Rhonda, says hello Ben, Craig, Team Social and Crew and all of my crafting friends. Sensational Sky, seen your question. I will ask Craig in just a second. Just wanted to quickly show you some other things we've got on the show. The Graceful Plumes collection is on. And actually, again, if you wanted to use the flower dyes from this collection. You've got some lovely colours in the graceful plumes to be able to make some linen card flowers if you wanted to do that. You've got the reds and oranges and yellows and greens in there, but look at all the beautiful papers as well. I mean, my goodness me, if you bought the graceful plumes collection already and you're thinking, oh, I wish I bought some more of the paper and cardstock, grab this bundle. Beautiful paper pad. As far as illustrations are concerned, I think one of the very best that we have ever done. The colour palette is bright, it's bold, it's beautiful. Stripped back a little bit on the reverse for you as well, so if you want to snip that down and just use those for your mats and layers. Whether you want to, stamp onto those more, you can. But the A side certainly full of beautiful colours and beautiful illustrations for you. So you've got your the 12 by 12 pad. You get the 6 by 6, which is a shrunken down version of everything I've just shown you there, and all of your linen cardstock as well. So 6 different colours. You're getting 4 sheets of each, giving you 24 sheets, colour matching beautifully. But as you can see, some really lovely colours there to be making your florals with as well. £28 platinum is the price on that, $36. And remember, if that is the only thing that you buy today, you are a step closer to winning free shipping for a year as part of our Club Inspire event. That is what we are doing. If you shop this week up until the end of play on Sunday, you need to be a Club Inspire member, and one person will win free shipping for an entire year. If you're not yet within Club Inspire, join up in the club. Next up is the Vintage Carnival. Love this. Again, we're giving you the 12 by 12, 6 by 6, and the linen cardstock to go with it. This one is a 24 sheet pad. You're getting the 12 designs in here, and you're getting 2 sheets of each. Absolutely brilliant. I love the sort of muted vintage nature of this. The patterns are just absolutely incredible. And yes, obviously, to work perfectly with your Vintage Carnival, but for celebratory cards, I'm thinking like 4th of July, that kind of things, maybe graduation cards as well. There's plenty of papers in there for you to be able to use for that. And just some great patterns, some great colours, some great designs in here too. A lot of people chatting about using this alongside the Circus collection from our Violet Studios range. But as you can see, designs are absolutely stunning within this set, and you get that in 12 by 12. Hello everybody, apologies, I had a few technical gremlins there, but we are back on YouTube. I believe we're not live on Facebook for some reason. We'll try and sort that out. If you have a friend who normally watches on Facebook, just give them a nudge and tell them to get over to the Tube of the U's. And we'll continue here for like the next 10-15 minutes or so. Back to the Vintage Rose Weekly Wonder. Was just going to say that individually things are selling, and the 6x6 paper pad proving very, very popular. If you bought this collection previously, of course you can buy individuals. If you want to jump in and get more of the paper pad, you want to get more of the flower forming foam, feel free to do that. Also worth bearing in mind as well, if you do want to be able to recreate some of the flower demos that Craig has done over the course of this show, we do have that essentials kit as far as more flower forming foam, stamens and tools are concerned. You can get the finger toboggan in a deal that we've got on this show as well. But whilst we are here, as I say, another 10-15 minutes or so, thought it might be nice just to get back to see Craig in action with his favourite stamp and die, the Rose Bouquet from this set. Again, that is available individually, so if you want to pick that up on its own, you can do. What I will say though, again, that is another very popular individual item. That sells out, then we lose the Weekly Wonder, so quick as you can if you're shopping for anything. And yeah, let's take some inspiration. You're going to just do a bit of colouring with that stamp, aren't you?
I am, yeah, for like the last 10 minutes or so. We're going to go in and we're going to use my favourite stamp. So I've got our alcohol cardstock. Now I've just cut it to, I think it's about 5x7 here. It's more just to show you how we can stamp it out. So we're going to go in with my well-loved and used stamp here.
Wow, that is well-loved.
It's well-loved. As I said this morning, Ben, it's blinking disgusting.
Well...
But it's like a wok.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's well-seasoned.
That's it.
Ink. Well-seasoned.
But it's good to show that as well, actually, because I think some people might get worried and go, oh, you know, when a stamp gets to a certain level of
dirtiness,
like oh, well, I can't use it anymore. Dirty.
It's dirty.
But it's perfectly usable.
It is perfectly usable. Yep. I ain't afraid of no dirt. So I've added that to my list.
What?
Where I'm going. I'm trying not to say it as much. Where I'm going is to see the firehouse.
Oh, get out of here. I'd love to go and see that.
I know, it'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Can you take some pictures?
Of course I will.
Lots of pictures.
You know, the other place that I want to go when I'm at where I'm going is the Manhattan Centre. You know, where WWE done Raw for the very first time.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, I want to go and stand out there and get a selfie. So we're going to do that.
Oh, George's asking if you're going to do the whole Home Alone thing as well.
No.
Can you go and see the Home Alone house?
No, because that's in... so that...
Oh, yeah, it's like Chicago,
in Chicago, yes.
Yeah, it's getting confused.
Yeah, in Chicago. Chicago, Illinois.
Are you going to go to the hotel?
So we've done that when we went to the 30th, when it was my 30th, George.
Did you ring them up and go...
We went...
Hello?
I'd really love
I'd like to reserve a room.
The Plaza do the Home Alone 2 experience.
Ah.
So you can stay in a suite and they get
Can
praise.
you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's an absolute arm
Can you
and a leg,
imagine? Can you imagine how much that's going to be worth?
Credit card.
You got it. Yeah. You've been sleeping with Leo, Little Mo.
Cliff.
Brilliant. Yeah. So good.
That is a rare occasion where the second movie is better than the first.
Better than the first. Absolutely. It absolutely is. I don't know if I can think of any other film where...
I can think of like, T2, Terminator 2 is a good shout.
Is it?
Yeah. And I can think of trilogies where the third one's the best. But more often than not in a trilogy, the second one's always the weakest of the three.
Well, it's funny, the new Final Destination, which is what, the sixth one?
I might have to revisit those.
That's really good. That is, for the sixth one, that is just incredible. So yeah, I know what you mean, yeah, when it comes to like a trilogy.
Yeah.
Trilogy. Yes. You do some like, you know, I enjoyed the Halloween ones.
Oh, yeah.
You know, really enjoyed the Halloween ones. They were brilliant, really good.
Has anyone seen the new Karate Kid movie?
The what?
The new Karate Kid movie.
No.
It's like they've basically taken the two timelines and made them into one movie, haven't they? So you've got Ralph Macchio, the original Karate Kid, and then about probably, I say a few years ago, it's probably 10 years ago now, they then remade it with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's son, and like they basically remade it. Now they've done a new movie with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio like coming together with this like new Karate Kid. And the trailer looks really good actually. Cinema.
I obviously seen the original one years ago, But that's about it. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones.
I've got to be honest, I never realised until about, it probably was last year. I knew they'd done, obviously, the original Karate Kid and Karate Kid 2. I never realised they made a third one.
Is there?
Yeah. Well, no, that's another movie, the one with the girl, the next Karate Kid, that one. Yeah, that's like another one after the original 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I should at some point go back and watch them all. I mean, if I go back and watch the first one, it would be like watching a brand new film. It's been that long that I just could not remember what was going on.
Wax on, wax off, yeah.
I think that's the only thing that I still say off the back of that film. Wax on, wax off.
It's an absolute cracker, that, isn't it? If you were like going to line up like 10 classic 80s movies to watch.
The Goonies.
Goonies would be in there, 100%. Karate Kid definitely would be in there.
Gremlins.
For me, Beverly Hills Cop would be in there. I mean, oh, they've done it. They've done a fourth one. Yeah, have you not seen it, George? It's on Netflix. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good, the fourth one. 1 and 2 were good. 3 was terrible in the theme park. And number 4. I actually sat and watched that with my dad, and he'd never seen any of the movies, and he enjoyed it so much, he went back and then watched number 1 and number 2.
Really?
Yeah, and I said, don't bother with number 3. Then he did actually watch it, and he was like, yeah, it is terrible, isn't it? Axel Foley is the name of his character. It's so good.
You know what 80s film I like?
E.T.
Oh, that's a good
That
one,
would be
but
in
no.
there. No.
Mermaids.
Oh, with Cher?
Cher and Bob Hoskin, Winona Ryder, Christina Ricci.
I know that movie, but I don't know what is it about.
So it's a single mum, and she's got an early adult age daughter and a young teen daughter. And the mum she's never lucky in love, so she can never settle. So what she literally does is she'll open up the map, point her finger, and wherever her finger lands, they move there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, But so it's about, of course, her moving then. She does meet someone, Bob Hoskins, but then Christina Ricci's character, not Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder's character, she gets into, what do you call it again? Oh gosh, the word's just gone right out my mind now.
I don't know, what do you call it?
Into like the church and...
Oh, right.
Oh gosh,
Christianity?
I don't. Well, it's more in a general religious.
Oh,
yes.
God! I knew it was that easy in a word. Religious. Yeah.
Religious, yeah. And then there's nuns that she kind of looks upon, and she wants to then become a nun. But then there's that side story where she's a young girl, but she's fallen for an older guy. And do you know what? It's just really, it's a really, really good film. Really good film. Brilliant.
Just a quick question, back on the subject of what you're doing. Sandy's saying, Ben and Craig, could you colour these rose stamps with our Colorista pencils?
Of course you could. Yeah.
If you were stamping to colour with those, is there any particular type of ink you would stamp with for the pencils, or does it not really matter?
So, excuse me while I have a fight with this.
Does the nib come off?
So what happens is the barrel can come away. There we go. Sometimes you just need to hold with your fingernail and then pull out. So, do you know something, Ben? So, like the Colorista colour blend pencils, that's a really good question. I'm going to, this is how I think of it. And that is that your Colorista pencils, you could use either or ink pad. Yeah, you could use either or alcohol waterproof. When it comes to the colour blend pencils, like these ones that you would blend with, we'll obviously say, of course, you can then blend them as they are neat, or of course, you can then start to blend them with blending solution.
Yeah.
So if it comes to that, you know, people say, well, what tint to ink pad? The way that I think of it, Ben, is if you're going to be using something like a blending solution, therefore, use your alcohol proof, because that is alcohol that's just like in your alcohol pens.
Right.
So your alcohol pens, you use your alcohol proof. So therefore, if you're going to be blending with your blending solution, because of course it's alcohol base, use of course your alcohol-proof ink pad. But as for the actual colorista, because you're just going in neat with the actual laydown and colour, then yeah, you would get away with either one.
Okay. Good question.
Good question.
We like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, here we go again. Good question.
I've never ever seen those pens do
Have
that
you not?
before. No.
Yeah. Sometimes as well, if you push them closed too much. So that is where your ink sits.
Ah, okay.
That's where the ink sits. So just, there we go. That's it. Yeah, it doesn't happen often to me, but yeah, occasionally it can happen. It's just the nature of the beast. It's where the barrel connects.
Yeah.
So I'm using here, I am using my dark red blend. And then we're going in, we're blending it in. And then what I'm going in, and I'm taking the dark red shades, DR5, which is a dark, not the darkest out of them all, but a dark one. And I'm just going and highlighting just underneath that petal, where it's going to be a little bit deeper, following the highlight lines. Ben, I'm going to get you to just kind of direct me the rest of the show. My talk back's gone and there's no point in changing batteries. So.
Yeah, I've only got about 4 or 5 minutes left anyway. So.
Right, yeah. So what I've been doing here is I always like to go in with the lightest tone to start with. And this is one that Sam was actually asking me this morning because his partner Nicola, obviously, who worked here, she will tend to go in with that kind of medium colour to start with. Now, there's no right or wrong way on what you lay down. Some will maybe go in with a dark shade first, then start to build that way. For me, I like to use the light tone first.
Yeah.
And this is because what I think of is that I'm priming my cardstock. So I'm going in with that lightest tone. So now I can start to build up that depth on top. So now that I've done my base, I can now think, right, I'm starting from the beginning. So now I'm going to go in with the... Oh, my God. Now I'm going to go in.
Never seen this before. It's happening every time.
Oh, every time.
It's got a dodgy pen. Is it one of yours or one from the studio?
No, it's one from the studio. But never happens this much.
Well, at least if this happens to you at home now, you know what to do.
Yeah, you know. So I'm just going to go in now with that darkest tone, and I'm following those highlight shades that are already there within the stamp. And we're just going to go in. I'm not going to come too far down. We're now going to go in with my mid-tone, and we're going to blend that one out. So we're just crossing over just where that dark tone ends. We're going to blend that out in circular motions, and I'm not coming all the way to the end, because what I'm then going to do is go back to the light tone where I started, and then we're just going to blend that out, finish that off into place here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my dark red shades where we've got DR5, DR6 and DR7. So I'm going to go to the lightest of the three, DR5, and I'm just going to come just underneath and no more, just making that little bit darker.
Just so you know, Craig, we've got about 3.5 minutes left on the show.
Right, I'm just wrapping up when it comes to this bit. Now, when it comes to that, what will happen is the alcohol will continue to evaporate slightly. Not for a long period of time, just a few moments or two. But then look at that, see how you're starting to get that depth and that blend. I could pull that darkness out a bit more if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then this is one that I've been doing in between.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
So when I came in this morning, in between shows, and that's all that I've done there a moment ago, is exactly what I've done. And you can see how you're starting to blend that one up. So it's the three colours from the dark red blend, and then I've gone in with DR5 from the dark red shade, been the tri-blends, starting to build it up. Use that as that focal point, or of course you've got the two edgeable dies to go with it.
I do see why you say this is such a good stamp to kind of start with and like to, get a bit of courage up with your colouring, because it is bigger. And the way that you talk about the tri-blends as well, you will know, because Craig taught me how to colour in the fact that it is using that light shade first. And I love your kind of explanation of saying like it's like putting that first sort of base coat down, isn't it? And then you've got something to work with.
Work something, yeah. So you've got that underlying layer there that's starting to help and do that bit of a blend for you when you're layering each layer over the top. Whether you do it my way, Leanne's way, well, I kind of taken off of Leanne in the way that I do it, but Sarah's way, Debbie's way, either way, the results will still be the same. It's just that different level that you start to apply it.
But it's been a fantastic show. Love to Create LC says, wow, Craig does love his vintage rose stamp. It looks very well loved. It's been used once or twice, as you can see from that demo. And Trudy says, what amazing colouring. Jennifer Dawn Smith just saying, I really love the Craftimonials. Yeah, don't forget you can keep popping those in. There's various links up on the socials if you want to send any more Craftimonials our way. But we're pretty much done on this show. We are back in just over an hour's time for our Monday Makers. We're going to be looking at the silhouette dies and stamps, aren't we?
We are indeed, yes. So we'll maybe have another little play when it comes to the vintage rose set here. We're going to have a look at the silhouette set and, yeah, a few additional things as well.
Yeah, there's lots on that show too. We've got some brilliant Monday mega deals for you. I know we showed you the glitter glue a little bit earlier on in Wake Up Call. That's on a brilliant deal. Also, your metallic paint markers as well, but there's plenty there. Just the thing to say about those Monday mega deals too, don't forget they are only available for you up through until midnight tonight, and then those do disappear. And just worth remembering and reiterating, or indeed I could be telling you for the first time if you've not watched already today, it is the start of our Club Inspire event. There is a big day tomorrow. I won't say too much more than that, but the boss is in the house, and we've got some really good shows lined up for you and a few little extra surprises for you as well. And as part of that event, starting like from today, running right through until the end of play on Sunday, if you shop with us and spend over £25, $25, €25, you'll automatically be going into a draw to stand the chance of winning free shipping for a whole year, which I just think is incredible. Particularly, you know, those of you who shop with us regularly, that is a prize not to be sniffed at. So all you need to do is shop like you normally would, and we will put you into a draw. And it's each and every time that you shop this week and spend over that 25 threshold. So absolutely worth doing. If you're not yet within Club Inspire, again, absolutely worth joining up for free. And also alongside that, getting 20% off your first order. Massive thank you to Craig. Thank you to all of the team. Thank you to you guys for watching as well. And we will be back in just over an hour's time for Monday Makers. So I do hope you can join us then. And until then, thanks for watching and
toodles!